All right. How about that forecast?
Well, thank goodness they're going to have some right conditions to make some snow.
Good.
We're Beach Mountain actively trying to make snow right now. And then meanwhile, around town, it looks beautiful. I'm just letting you know. Temperatures are in the mid-50s, but if you really just look at the different conditions that are out there, it's the wind. Occasional wind gusts up to 25. That is a cold breeze. So you're really going to be feeling the difference. So yeah, we have the sunshine. That's great. So it's looking lovely from Lake Norman over to Concord, not a cloud in the sky. Meanwhile, here in Boone, even colder. And you can't really see the skies too much because our banner is blocking it, but they're picking up more clouds that eventually will lead to some snow. So over the next 5 days, our mountain forecast, we're going to use Banner Elk as kind of the focal point for our temperatures. You're expecting today a high around 41. It's windy already, but then the snow really doesn't arrive until your Wednesday evening. So I made a weather aware window really for this evening, overnight, through Friday, and then a second coming Friday night, and just barely a sliver of Saturday. And it's at that point, that's where you're going to see most of the snow come down. But realistically, it's tonight through tomorrow morning that we see a majority of the snow. Because check it out. Snow, I think, is really becoming active after about 5 o'clock. 5 to 8 is really starts to fill in the gaps. This is some heavy stuff. Some of these purples that you're seeing here, let's call it a lavender color. That's where you're starting to see snow rates up to about a ½ inch to an inch per hour in some locations. It's really going to start to add up at that point. But then once you head into your Friday morning, we're still seeing persistent, consistent snow right along the Tennessee border. But once you get to the afternoon, we kind of break things up. Temperatures warm up, snow dies out, and then it'll be another setup that you'll have a second coming of snow overnight heading into Saturday. And then by Saturday sunrise, I think you might have a lingering flurry, but that's pretty much it. Here's what our futurecast snowfall looks like. These are the highest values I've seen so far. This is one model showing that the first round that we see by 7 a.m. tomorrow could be anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches. I don't think that's too far off. I think you maybe see another inch out of that, but this does put this threshold for Boone a little bit higher. I think that the mountaintops have a good shot at getting about 5 to 7 inches. That's great for Grandfather, Beach Mountain, Sugar Mountain. You're right on the cusp as well. And then right above that, let's call it Banner Elk, further up to Sugar Mountain, I think you're going to see about 3 to 5 inches. Blowing Rock, Boone, I have you in the 1 to 3 right now, but realistically, let's call it closer to about 3, even 4, where you can move this line down a little bit. But I think you're banking at least about that 2 to 4 range across that area. Our forecast for today, 41 degrees, as I mentioned there. Charlotte, we're at 54 right now. We're only warming up about 4 degrees. With that stronger wind and sunshine, sometimes the two kind of balance each other out. So sunshine's going to warm us up, but that colder air is still billowing in. But then that breeze is gusting up to 25 miles per hour out of that colder direction. That's why we don't warm up too much. But in the meantime, that also means that when that snow's coming down, you're going to have blowing snow, blowing horizontally at times with gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Not a good situation as that snow starts to add up with still some gusts on and off to about 30 to 40 miles per hour. We could have some power outages up in the mountains. So not a great situation. This is definitely the first blast of winter weather we've had so far this season. Tonight's forecast, focus in on the blue numbers. Those are those wind chills where it's actually going to be feeling more like the upper 20s. I did have a low of 32 degrees. I moved it north of that. You really need a crystal clear and calm wind to maximize our cool down. So I think we're going to miss out on that just barely. Still feeling like it's freezing by about 11 p.m. Look at that wind chill. 11 degrees close to Boone. Could even have a chance of some of those single-digit wind chills. And then through the day tomorrow, highs in the 50s, feeling much like the 40s with that wind staying pretty persistent. Our Guy Roofing 7-day forecast, you can see 59 on Saturday. Great for the Panthers game in the mid-60s. The top near 70 on Monday before we start to cool down yet again.